All right, welcome to the Explainer. There's a huge power shift happening in American finance right now. But get this, it's not on Wall Street. Nope, it's happening deep in the heart of Texas. So let's break down what's going on with this brand new stock exchange. Okay, let's just start with a number. A really, really big number. $2 trillion. I mean, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around, right? So what in the world does a number like that even mean? Well, that's the total market value of the first 100 companies to list on a brand spanking new stock exchange. And again, this isn't Wall Street we're talking about. This is all the value that's pouring into a really ambitious new player in the financial game. So let's talk about this Texas-sized milestone. What's all the buzz about? We're digging into the NYSE Texas, a new exchange that honestly just smashed a huge goal right out of the gate. And the speed here is, wow, it's just incredible. So the exchange launches in March 2025. And by December of that same year, we're talking less than a year, people, it's already hit this massive milestone. That is some serious, serious momentum.
So what's the magic number? It's 100. 100 different issuers, we're talking everything from regular operating companies to ETFs and other funds, have decided to dual list. Now, what that means is they're now traded on a traditional exchange and here in Texas. It's just a huge vote of confidence, right, from a whole bunch of different players in the market.
Okay, so we know it's growing like crazy, but what is NYSE Texas really? Let's zoom in and get to know the Lone Star State's very own exchange.
To put it simply, NYSE Texas is a pretty big deal, historically speaking. It's the very first securities exchange to be officially incorporated in Texas. It's basically creating a dedicated financial hub in a state that, let's be honest, is already a massive economic powerhouse.
And you can just feel the confidence and ambition in this quote from Lynn, the president of the NYSE Group. I mean, she's not just patting everyone on the back for hitting a goal. She's pretty much saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is just the beginning. So that brings up the big question, right? Why Texas? Out of all the places you could launch a new exchange, what's so special about the Lone Star State? What's the secret sauce? Well, here's a cool fact that you might not know. The foundation for this was already there. I mean, even before this new exchange was a thing, Texas was already home to more NYSE-listed companies than any other state in the U.S. Wild, right? And the combined value of those companies? It's just staggering. We're talking $3.9 trillion. So you see, this new exchange wasn't about building a financial scene from the ground up. It was about giving an already booming community its own home base. And really, this success story is built on three main things. First, you've got that famous pro-business environment. Second, it's home to a ton of well-known, respected brands. And third, the economy there is incredibly diverse, covering all sorts of different industries. It's kind of the perfect recipe for something like this. So who's the power behind the curtain here? I mean, this isn't just some scrappy little startup. Oh no, there is a major, major force driving this whole thing. Let's talk about ICE. Yeah, NYSE Texas is part of Intercontinental Exchange. You'll hear them called ICE. They're a Fortune 500 company, a global giant in financial technology. Having a player like that backing you, it just gives this new exchange a ton of credibility and resources from day one. So what does ICE actually do? Well, you can kind of think of them as the architects of the modern financial world. They're the ones who build and run the digital plumbing for everything, from huge exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange itself, all the way to the critical tech that makes the mortgage market tick. And it's all powered by boatloads of data and analytics.
All right, so 100 companies listed on a new exchange in Texas. Let's get to the big question. Why should you care? Why does this really matter? Let's zoom out a bit and look at the big picture here. First off, just look at the diversity of companies here. You'd be forgiven for thinking a Texas exchange would be all oil and gas, right? But that's not what's happening at all. The companies showing up are in tech, consumer goods, and at least 8 other industries. That tells you its appeal is super broad, reaching across the whole economy. And this is the real kicker. This whole thing isn't just a story about Texas. It's a huge signal that the entire financial landscape in the U.S. might be, well, decentralizing. We could be seeing these strong regional hubs popping up as real, viable alternatives to the old guards of finance. So all of this really leaves us with one big, fascinating question for the future. With this kind of insane momentum and some serious heavy hitters behind it, are we actually watching the rise of a brand new financial capital right there in the Lone Star State? I guess only time will tell, but Man, what a powerful first chapter.